strange, in my opinion, chums, is the fact that when people get into power, they go a little crazy, don't they, you know? We've seen that recently, haven't we, with the Right Honourable Sir Keir Starmer, the current British Prime Minister. Couldn't resist all those free clothes, and most strangely, of course, those vocal teaching lessons, voice lessons, whatever you want to call it, that is still under scrutiny as to whether he paid for them or not. Some people might suggest, of course, somebody could be due a refund. I couldn't possibly comment. As of course the famous House of Cards character said, remember that. But what's interesting, as I say, is we've now recently also had the Chancellor of the Exchequer, Angela Rayner, Rachel Reeves, and of course this man, all pretending to be a solicitor. It literally is an absolute shambles, as you can imagine. But truly nothing tops this. That's right, Sir Lindsay Hoyle. Now, Sir Lindsay Hoyle is the, House of Commons Speaker, and it's normally a tradition, which happens to be that you live in a grace and favour apartment, all for free, inside the Palace of Westminster. Not a bad job, and on top of that, a hefty salary too. Well, recently it was reported, of course, that he's been globe-trotting around the world, literally at your expense. In fact, there was no expense spared. Chauffeur-driven cars, 5-star hotels, and of course, luxury accommodation, even for chums, right? Now, here's where it gets really interesting, because this is the point of where you realise that ego is literally out of control. Take a look at this. This is the portrait of Sir Lindsay Hoyle, which literally now hangs inside the Palace of Westminster. How much do you think that was? Well, for the frame alone, it was £10,000 in the region. The actual cost of the oil painting, commissioned by, guess who, Sir Lindsay Hoyle, was around about £26,000. This was completed in 2023, but the full cost of that has literally just come through. Now, what's fascinating is, according to sources, whenever anybody visits the Palace of Westminster, Sir Lindsay can't really, wait to take you past that portrait. Doesn't mention it, but, oh, wow, is that you? Wonderful, right? Now, the costs literally are astronomical. Remember, this is a government that's basically saying to you that there's a cost of living crisis, they're cutting disability, winter fuel allowance, and on top of all of that, they've decided to remove from public office basically wonderful portraits of previous British Prime Ministers like the Right Honourable Sir Winston Churchill and the Right Honourable Margaret Thatcher, who have achieved far more than these particular individuals. Don't forget, of course, that he's not alone. Recently, the current Home Secretary, the woman who was going to smash the gangs and stop the boats with all the migrants, Yvette Cooper, well, guess what? She had her own portrait placed as well, at great expense. To who? To you. So I throw it open to you. Would you stop this practice and urge anybody who now comes into government to stop this vanity project practice? Simply because if the public can't see it and the public have paid for it, why on earth should it be hidden away? And more importantly, would you prefer to see Sir Lindsay's portrait hanging somewhere more in public? Or do you think it's better kept away from the public? Either way, it's costing you and I, the British taxpayer, a lot of money. And some people suggest, of course, it's nothing more than a simple vanity project. As ever, over to you. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and if you can, please like and share and comment respectfully. Neil Sean in the very heart of London's King's Cross.